I'm spoiled for choice. Do I explore? Or do I spend all of the money I just received on booze? That'd be a great start to my professional career. Show up to the first class, pissed out of my head. Alright. I'm sure that's happened. On that note, hey everyone, welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Houses Black Eagle Route. In the last episode, we found ourselves at the very start of the monastery, and we met up with our class chums, and we've been thrown into a loop where our students are a bit of a rowdy bunch. They're either pompous, cold-hearted, or just weird. In this episode, though, we are going to be taking our first intrepid steps into the monastery. Again, I suppose, that didn't really make much sense. However, now we have something in which we need to talk about. Yes, we are still going on New Game Plus aspects about it. Now, we did go over this during the intro to this Let's Play, but this is just a finalized thing to do now. So, let us continue. And our doors magically open as if we don't care. Now, people who are doing New Game Plus, if you go to your journal, we can now alter the appearances, but again, we have already done that. Now, unit appearances we have shown at the very end of last episode. So, DLCs or alternate attires from classes which you've unlocked, you can do that. However, the other ones are very important. First off, the professor level. Throughout the game, if you do various side quests, tasks, or just activities with your students, you are able to have more opportunities to do so. You only have a certain amount of activities in the game, and you are able to do just that. Here are supports. These are pretty much one-to-one, heart-to-hearts in which you have with characters, and they aren't just for show. This can lead to later and deeper developments, and it can also be helpful in battle. For the higher these is a support level, the bigger boost you'll get. Now we can also upgrade various students' abilities and their skill levels. Different characters excel at different things. However, if you played this game before and you want to get a student back to a certain level, New Game Plus renown points can help. How much renown points you have, you'll find on the top right on your screen there. A way to get renown points is, again, side quests, doing specific battles, or just partaking in various activities or certain fights throughout the game. Now we get to decide, so what are we doing here? And of course, you could do that with class abilities as well. Now, these are the crests in which you can get. And these are pretty much like equip items. They don't have to be on certain characters. So if you feel like there's something which you feel like a character could benefit from, like say more movement or more HP, then it's all there for you. And some of these things are actually Easter eggs from different Fire Emblem characters. I mean, for example, if we were to go up to, I think, the top, yeah, sure, you see the Grim Dragon. That's actually a little bit of an Easter egg from Fire Emblem Awakening. So, do that as what you will. Now, since Alice is taking the reins regarding the social elements, what do you want to do with some of these renown points?
I don't know, I mean, I guess we could just allocate them to as much as we can.
Yep, sure. So if you want to do that. Now, we do have enough to do a lot of things, because this is like, what, a playthrough's worth of renown points?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, sure, we can do whatever you want. do you want to just go all the way and just give us max professor points? Because honestly, to be time efficient and in order to see as much as you can in the game, I would honestly recommend getting all of the professor points. Because it allows you to develop your skills a bit more and also bond with students a little bit more. So yeah, sure, if you want to do that, let's do that. And this is another element of combat, but we have yet to really see the meat and potatoes of combat, so let's do that.
Is there anything else you would want to level up?
Honestly, unless we are really pressed for time, I feel like we can just go with the flow as is, unless you really want to like boost up a character to a ludicrous extent.
Not at the moment.
Okay, so sure. With that, let's get to it.
So, these are the students' quarters. To better help you supervise them, you also have a room here. Your room is here at the end. Commoner students also reside on the first floor, while the second is primarily for students of noble birth. As a rule, we try to avoid discrimination based on social status here, but the nobility can be quite insistent when it comes to matters of propriety. Speaking of, it would be best for you to avoid improper conduct. I expect you to set a good example for the students.
But what if I don't like some of the students I'm with now?
Yes.
Oh well.
Let me know when you are hungry. I will make you a quality meal, as thanks for your service to His Highness. I have a request.
In all honesty, there's literally no downside in saying no to a side quest.
I heard
It
about the
doesn't really
upcoming
go
mock battle.
away.
I want you to know, Professor, that I do not intend to lose. I hereby declare my intention to prevail at... Goodness, listen to me. The thrill of competition has carried me away. I won't speak so formally of a class assignment in the future.
You had better not, good sir.
Hey, Teach. I hear there's gonna be a mock battle between the houses. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit concerned about facing an elite mercenary like you. Maybe take it easy on us. What do you say?
The opposite of what Dimitri said.
Professor,
I'm not gonna
have
take
you
it
adjusted
easy.
to life at the academy yet? Me, I'm still not used to it. I'm not one for all this studying and training.
Hilda, I will so hope that you grow on me, because we had our ups and downs during our first tenure of that. And as we're going through by the monastery, you hold B down to run, because not everyone would want to walk along the head of the monastery. It's a big place.
It's why.
Yeah, a why? Oh, well, never mind then. Screw me.
Oh, B and Y do it.
Okay, never mind then. Haha, I'm not the idiot. I was completely wrong.
I'm Captain Gerald's first and
Wait,
best
what?
apprentice. I can beat anyone, Professor. Even you if I have to. It may have been only for a short time, but I learned from the absolute best.
Oh, Leonie, so many memories. Sylvain, you goddamn woman,
Well,
how's
there's
you?
Dorothea, Hilda, and Mercedes. Lady Rhea's quite the beauty, too. And I must admit, I've even checked out Professor Manuela once or twice. You know, Professor, I think I'm going to like it at the Officers' Academy. There are beautiful girls as far as the eye can see.
It's too bad you ain't a woman, Professor.
Professor, I've got a small favor to ask.
And also, fun fact, depending on your gender, it can result in different dialogue for different characters.
I don't like to
That
come
was one
out
of them.
unless I really have to. Hope you're okay with that, Professor.
And also something in which you will come across, like we have done sometimes in cutscenes up to this point, but there are some dialogue options which you have throughout the game, and it can result in either you gaining support for a character or losing out support. Most likely it's going to be the former.
The Great Tree Moon is the best time of the year for naps. I could just forget all about my assignment. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can also say there's going to be some tropes here and there.
I'm a little busy. If you're looking for the greenhouse, it's right there. See?
One of the tropes is I hate this kid.
Maybe.
But don't worry, we'll get there eventually.
Did you come to look at the plants too? The greenhouse here is really incredible. There are so many rare flowers I'd never seen back home, and herbs I never even knew existed. My adoptive father is the real expert. He taught me everything I know about herbs, including how to tell them apart and how to make medicines. You should try looking around the greenhouse sometime if the mood strikes you. Maybe something will catch your eye.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, greenhouse, greenhouse, greenhouse. This is gardening. To put it bluntly, you can plant seeds of different varieties and they can give you various options. Some of them can be fruit for cooking, others for healing, and even some that give actual stat boosts. And before you go anywhere else, look to the right hand corner, if you will. You'll notice there is a bit of a blue sparkle. These are scattered around at the monastery in various places. They can either be items which you can use for cooking or other things in the shops, or they can actually be something that can really help boost up your affinity with different students.
Goddess.
Speaking of which,
Goddess, I pray to thee. Please protect us.
a woman of very few words, but you know what? I really like Marianne. She is such a sweetheart.
Unbelievable.
And yeah, if you're worried about this place being so big it's going to get overwhelming, the game does start to leak bits and pieces through you periodically. It doesn't just dump it in one go. If you care about building support and affinity with your characters, this is probably where you're going to be spending a lot of your time.
Professor, I hope you know I am having great abilities for reading and writing. With sadness, I still have struggles with speaking. If my ways of speech are causing a burden, I hope you will have forgiveness.
Ah, Petra. Such a lovely woman.
Hello there, Professor. Well, I call you that, but I am afraid I am not a student here myself. Should the opportunity arise, I would love to become a student and begin my studies in earnest. The monastery is kind enough to provide a sanctuary for my brother and I. He's the only family I have. Might you help me with a favor?
I'm busy. Do you want something? I can't right now, but let's fight soon. I look forward to beating you.
This guy is either going to be a pain in the ass or one of your biggest allies.
Ugh,
this guy is
really
just
need
big.
to eat. I can't hold out until the next meal. Why can't the dining hall stay open all the time? I need to keep eating if I want to get stronger.
Now this is another mechanic of the monastery. It's twofold. One, eating with various people can help boost up your supports. And the various arrows are which characters are going to like food a lot more. Trust me, it matters. And the smiley faces next to them, they are what's called motivation. There's going to be things within the months in which you need to train and teach your students. How full the bar is, depending on their progress. And if you're careful, there can be some unique dialogues to it. And don't be alarmed if you are worried about, hey, if I just asked for professor points and I've only got 1. This happens. This is just a trial run for the game, essentially. It's just so you don't get dumped with so much to do that again it gets overwhelming. The game is pretty good about taking it slow with you, I suppose. If you want to dine, it is something which you could do to complete Sylvain's side quest, should you wish.
That's so.
And in case you are overwhelmed about the map size, if you want to, press one of the shoulder buttons. The shoulders? Or is it X?
It's the shoulder button.
Really?
Yeah.
Not the overview for fast travel? What?
Huh?
Like R. There we are. Yeah. This is how big your map is. But don't worry, if you go to various sections, you can see who is where, who you haven't talked to yet, because that's what the speech bubbles enable to. I do get a chance to fast travel, however, not yet.
Indeed.
If any student that's not part of your house, it will come up with a prompt to say you spot them. We'll get to that later.
Hello, Professor. I have a teeny tiny question for you, if that's all right. You haven't seen a man with hair the same color as mine, a scowling face, and a generally gloomy demeanor, have you? Well, yes. It's a bit difficult to explain. Please just let me know if you do see him, okay?
I mean, is it Sylvain on a bad day?
Yes.
I mean, it's a random question, but it still works.
Hi, Professor. Have you gotten around to visiting the library yet? It's absolutely loaded with valuable information. I only wish I wasn't burdened with the necessity of sleep, so I could spend all my hours there. In a manner, yes, but it's more that I want to learn as much as I possibly can.
It is worth it to talk to various characters, because you can either get a bit of trivia out of them, and also a chance to increase your support levels with them.
Do bear in mind that even as you are appraising your students, they are appraising you as well. I hope that you will do your best to form lasting bonds with your flock. Oh, and I look forward to witnessing your prowess in the Mach battle.
Oh, I know. Kids. Students. They're always watching you. Judging you with their hateful eyes.
No.
My God. I never want to become a teacher.
The church has changed a lot since my time. Sedith, Hanneman, Manuela, Yuritsa, and many of the knights. None of them were around 20 years ago.
Oh, well, times change.
I think Captain Gerald has hardly changed since 20 years ago. I've aged at least 3 times as much as he has. Why am I talking about this? Oh, right. It was because I just overheard Tomas remarking on the subject. The leader of a legendary group of knights returned. People are bound to be talking about the old captain.
As you mentioned last episode, I was just seeing friendly faces.
Mm-hmm. And also getting name drops, familiar names as well, like Shamir.
A mock battle?
The things you don't get in the first
Well,
go
Professor,
round.
They're not giving you any time to settle in, are they? Don't worry, though. Should you get injured, I will care for you all through your recuperation. I will see to you, oh so very, very personally.
Just by speaking to her. You get an affinity up from her.
Is it because we're the male protagonists?
You take a guess, honey. You take a guess.
Apparently, there is to be a mock battle between the houses. Interesting, but I hope you understand that I have far more important things on my mind. My research is proceeding slower than I would like. Your crest is something of a challenge. Frustrating, yet also quite intriguing. I was wondering if I might get a sample of your flesh. A couple square inches would do. No? Perhaps some blood? A couple of drops on the device are all I need.
Yep. Get used to that. Get used to that.
Oh, thank you, Professor. Those few drops of blood are invaluable to my research. Oh, so much more to learn.
Oh, so much blood to have. He also has more dialogue.
Oh, thank you, Professor.
Okay, never mind. Why make that prompt game if you're not gonna do it? But yeah, this place is a little big, and I do apologize if this is not the content which you were expecting. But however, there is a point I want to make in due time. Probably after this.
Professor, I hear you are lacking in knowledge of the Church of Seros. The library contains countless documents about the teaching and the history of the Church. I encourage you to make good use of them.
Now, we have kind of cheated there at a settlement, but we will still go over things. You are probably going to want to visit the library a few times because this is a very good way for you to learn about various places that are going to be brought up in the game, as well as finding different items which can actually help you build up the professor points.
This is the place where you can get all of the lore.
Who'd have thought a library has info? Although, to be fair, I feel like a lot of kids these days are going to be like, what's a library? What are books? What's a library card? Well, as an aardvark once taught me, having fun isn't hard if you've got a library card. Yeah, sure, 90s kids, I'm talking to you. I'm showing my age, aren't I? Anyway, enough about 90s cartoons. Let's go on and let's just meet other people and get stuff done. Yeah, if you couldn't tell where the armored guards are.
Here's an idea.
You know go. You know goo. So now that's all out the way. We've talked to a majority of the students. It is worth and it is very easy to do some side quests. So just do what you will.
Before I came to the Officers Academy, I attended a school of magic in the Kingdom Capital. That's where I met Annie. That's what I call Annette. Oh, I guess Lawrence was at the School of Magic too. But Annie was always just so nice to me, even though I was older. She's my best friend in the world.
Mercy. Oh, God. Oh, warms my heart.
The Blue Lion House derived its name from the honorary title of the first king of Fargus. Lug, the king of lions, wore brilliantly blue garments. His chivalric exploits are recorded in multiple legends. The library holds various historical accounts regarding him and the Blue Lions.
We were just
there. If you find time, you should read them. They're filled with insights.
Already ahead of you, lady.
Hi, Professor. How are you doing? If you're not busy, would you like to join me on a little trip into town? If I'm cooped up in this dusty old monastery for too long, it drives me absolutely crazy.
For you, anytime. And something you might have noticed on the mini-map, the students that are in your house are labeled as blue. The others, they're labeled as yellow. Just so you know who's who and who's on your side.
Oh, that's weird because I thought changing houses, they would change color.
Nope.
I assumed the blue was Blue Lions thing, but nope.
You'd think that, yes, but no, oddly, I'm gonna guess they just assume blue was allies.
That refers to the twin-headed eagle on the Adrestian Empire's coat of arms. And black is the traditional color of the Empire's armor, hence black eagles.
I mean, because thinking about it now, it would put you at unrest if you saw red dots on the map.
Oh yeah, that's true, because it's usually for enemies.
Yeah, so it's a weird choice, especially regarding the change that they did make in like cutscenes and whatnot. The borders around the screen are in red, hence the path we chose.
This is the Golden Deer House. You're in charge of a different house, right? Too bad we won't see more of each other. I'm happy to learn from you if the opportunity comes up.
Our house is that of the Golden Deer. Do you know the significance of that name, Professor? Golden deer are sacred creatures, said to have protected Leicester since time immemorial. All three of the houses have a meaning behind their name. You should feel free to ask around if that sort of knowledge interests you.
Look, pretty boy, we have already been and done that. Pay attention. My God. So we just have members of our own house to talk to. And I will say beforehand, honey, before we end the day, I would want to get something done. But for now, let's just talk to everyone. But I guess since how we're going through with emotions, we are not going to be doing this every single episode like we did last LP. Over the course of this gameplay, unless something significant happens in like exploring the monastery or doing fights that are not story based, we are going to be streaming them. AKA, they are not going to be part of the Let's Play. We'll have highlights in the episode if something ever comes up, but for the most part, most of the grindy and side quest stuff, or just the miscellaneous stuff, that is going to be shown on our Twitch channel. And if you want to, you can watch it and comment and chat with us whilst we're pretty much making the episodes.
Wow, Yuritsa sure seems strong. I kind of thought he was going to be the new professor assigned to our class. After that teacher ran away during our outdoor training, I figured Yuritsa was a natural replacement. I was surprised when you were suddenly appointed professor instead. I don't think I could hold my own against Yuritsa in battle. I could probably take you, though. Seriously? You should really work on your self-confidence if you're planning on being a professor.
Listen, Shrimpy, I know you're a good fight, but Jesus.
Dimitri and Claude are the leaders of the other two houses. Do not underestimate them. When we take the field, it would be best not to engage the both of them at once.
Yeah, no crap.
Some believe the dignity of the Empire rests on the results of the Mach battle. That's an overstatement, of course. Still, we must do our best to prevail. You should take the time to learn each student's abilities. Perhaps some extra lessons and training sessions are in order? You look as if you have no idea what's going on here. I know my way around, so I'm happy to help you find your footing.
We have pretty much gone over this in bulk, so guess what? We saved you time.
Mm-hmm.
Professor.
That's everyone we've got to talk to, so let's take care of the little bits and pieces we gotta do for Sylvain and Flane.
Mm-hmm.
So Sylvain
and Flane. What a pairing.
Oh my God, no. Yeah, that's another mechanic for those who are new at the Fire Emblem. But again, no, we are ways away from that. So regarding of the professor point, aka how much time slots you have, fishing you can do all day with no consequence. And you didn't hear that, but Alice is sheepishly handing over the controller to me.
I've never been one for fishing mechanics in games.
Well, basically, quick time event to boot. You press A when a fish gets caught to enact, and then you pretty much have a timing puzzle. Well, I say puzzle. And the combos, basically, if you do perfect enough times, you have a better chance of catching the fish. So, I completely missed my shot. That was terrible.
The game still said good though.
We did find fish, and unfortunately it is locked. It's literally just for a tutorial purpose. However, it is worth to do it. But once you have done it, unfortunately this is one of those games for most of the time in which you have to go back to the quest giver and do that. And if you look, you'll see what you have unlocked, as well as getting more renown points. Like I said, it's very worth your time to do side quests if you're short. And let's just spend time and let's listen to the dialogue.
Oh, I love this meal. How did you know?
Ooh, this is my favorite. You've got great taste.
There are various characters which have unique dialogue if they eat with each other. But
Nice. I knew I could count on you.
with those bells being rung, that indicates you are done for the day. However, in this particular instance, there is something that I want to show, and it's only New Game Plus in which you can do this. So, Alice, if you will, can we go to the Amiibo Gazebo, please? And I'm not joking, that's literally what it's called. For over here, we see the Amiibo Gazebo. If you have any Amiibo, it does give you a few good items. And especially if you have a Fire Emblem one. Like us, for example, we have the trusty Ike. And this is what I wanted to show. We now are able to go to a place called the Holy Tomb. And this is something very, very special. Now, I will say straight off, if you do not want spoilers for a part in the game that's coming up, I think, because again, blind route, go look away now, at least for the next 2 minutes, give or take. But if you're ready, let's go. As we're jumping for joy. My wife is never going to get tired of that. Are you playing jump rope? And here we are. This is another area in which you can get various items.
Why is it playing the sad song?
This is, to me, one of the, honestly, one more poignant songs or places in the game for me. I love this aesthetic. And I'll talk about that in due time, but I love this area. My god, I love it.
It is almost time to begin.
And Sophus is here. Sleeping away. This is a bonus item for New Game Plus, which is called Sophus Shield. Basically, if you're weak against magic, this gives you a +7 buff boost. However, turn by turn, it will decrease. It will go 6 next turn, then 5, and so on and so forth. But it fades after 3 turns in total. It's very worth your time if you have units that are weak to magic. It might save you in later times. But I guess I'll say it now. The reason why I love this place so much, and it's kind of enkindled to the story. The song that's playing right now is called The Lonely Figure. And look at this place. And look who's here. Just us and one Sophus. No, just kind of eerie.
Yeah.
It's melancholy. I love it. And you know the sad part is, you can leave. Meaning you leave Sophus here on her own. No wonder why she sleeps. No. I love the aesthetic of this place.
Mm-hmm.
However, once you've talked to her and got everything that you want, return to the monastery. Luckily, and thankfully, the game is quick to load you back in. Eventually. It's a lot quicker than loading up the entire monastery when you begin at the game. Game, don't make me a liar. My wife is playing hopscotch on your loading screen. Come on, hurry up! Even the sprite is getting impatient. Thank you. And that's all that we can show for now. Because again, if we can have just one more look at the map, if we can, please. Yeah, though as places is in black, there are places which we can't go to yet, and they hold a lot of great stuff. But again, no, in due time. There's going to be a lot to unpack, and I do apologize if we did not get into everything into as much detail. There's a lot to cover in the first few initial weeks and months. But I guess, with that said, would you feel okay to end the episode there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so guys, as I said, we are ending things here for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for your time. If you liked this episode, then please be sure to like it. And if you didn't like it, well then you can go back to the room with Sophus and to be a lonely figure. Wait, you'll be spending time with Sophus and Kassan and Lee Morris. I don't like that. I'm jealous. I probably should stop here before I say something creepy.
I never knew what the sauna was about here.
The sauna?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? That's something which we can get into as well. But at a different time, though. However, guys, thank you. And if you want to subscribe to see more content like this, then please be sure to subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time. As always, I've been Lightning.
I'm Alice.
And we are LightlicePlays, and we'll see you guys next time, in which we take our first steps onto the battlefield of Garreg Mach. We'll see you next time.